What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again for another episode of Lights, Camera, Kiko, Natalie G collects, and we got there's a lot to talk about. We were late because Kiko had some crazy shit go down out on the boat today, which he's going to need to tell us the story. Kiko, I'm sure Pete is going to be involved, some other interested parties. There's going to be a lot of important things. And Kiko, guys, I think he's absolutely lit. Kiko, are you more or less wasted than the day that you took all those shots for the super chats?
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on now. Yeah, you're on.
Okay.
You've got an audio delay.
Yeah, you have a slight delay, but
so I've been talking about this podcast with all the people on the boat for the past 4 hours. So I have people tuning in tonight because of my propaganda and all the shit that I talk about. I would say that the shots night, which I think Natalie and Ty contributed to, by the way, shame on y'all. I would say that is a different issue, I suppose, because that completely sent me from 0 to 12. I'm floating around a 6 out of 10 right now because I've been on the lake all day. So, but I'm here with y'all, and as you can see, my tag is fish dick, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Kiko, did you wear sunscreen though, like I asked?
I did, yes.
Okay.
So we did that pretty regularly and often because we take our skincare and solar issues pretty seriously.
Yeah, dude, it's really important.
And now I'm officially settled in, so we're good.
Skin health is officially important, guys. And anytime we're late, just assume it's Kiko gardening or Kiko drinking or Kiko taking care of the weans. There's Kiko's the drama queen, the diva of the group of the three.
So
of
Will,
us.
you're telling me it's my fault every single time that we have news.
Yeah, exactly. I've been late maybe a couple times, but usually it's Kiko. Yeah,
it's usually me. But that's the thing. That's the difference between because I told you when you were up with us and we were doing things it's very important to me to keep on schedule and I hate being fucking late and all, and here I am late to this every single time.
It's the best. Every time Kiko's late, it's always funny, dude, because there's always a great story behind it.
But there's literally, it's not because I choose to, honestly, because it's a Friday afternoon. Stuff happens, unfortunately, but Will, I love being here with you guys, and it's not like I'm oh fuck Will.
No, dude, of course. No, I don't. No, I'm never upset about it. I think it's funny because every time you come in late, I know there's a story that we're gonna hear.
Yes, there's always a story, as you can say, fish dick. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
So,
and that one's wild.
We got to get to that, but Natalie, I got to check in. How are things going? I know I enabled you. I see an amazing new red and blue suit, Tom Holland, behind you, so I'd like to take full credit for that one.
You do. And you do take full credit for it. So quick story for that. When you guys went to, I don't even know the name of the store when you were over with Kiko. What's
Toy Department.
Toy Department. Yep.
Where is
you guys were there?
It's right behind her head.
Yep.
I see it now. Yep. Okay.
Got him on his base and everything. So Will messaged me. He's like, Natalie, this is the bee's knees figure. I was like, yeah, I really missed out on that one. This was right around the time that figures weren't really selling out. And so I thought I'd wait just till it dropped, and then it sold out, right? So that was the first figure that I missed, that one and the regular Clone Trooper. Anyway, he's like, well, I'm here. I could probably get it for you. And then I, slept on it too long. I was like, I'll think about it. And he was already gone the next day, right? So then he messaged me and he's like, hey, it's up. Big Bad Toy Store has it right now. Go get it. And so I jumped over to it and I was like, damn, it's the one with the base. I don't need the base. I can't fit the base. I got these little cubbies and it's too much space. And I'm not going to
be honest. You're happy you have the base now, aren't you?
And I was like,
I tried to tell her.
I was like, if it was just the collector one, I'd get it. He's like, they're both available. And I was like, what? So I jumped over to the other one. He said, but if I could just say, as your friend, you're missing, it's base or bust, right? Yep. And I was like, no, I don't know. I'm not going to do it. And then I stood there and I looked at it and I was like, worst case scenario, I sell the base and I have a collector's edition, right? What's the problem? So I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. So I bought it. And as soon as I opened up that base, it was like Christmas. It was beautiful.
Literally.
I put in, and it fits so perfect. So yeah.
And I told you, Natalie, I think my words were, I hear you, but you're objectively wrong. You were like, I don't need the base. I was like, you do, trust me. It's pretty awesome. You don't use the flight. I'm with you. I don't use the flight pole. You just prop him up on there. He's fine. Just kind of leave him. But
this is why I say, everybody says, well, don't allow yourself to be influenced, man. Just make your own fucking choices.
That's Kiko.
No. And Mike Fayella, yes, it feels great to be enabled because I was enabled to the right door. I was going to pick the wrong door. I was going to go to the bad door. I picked the good door.
Yeah, you did. You did. And I think it was a good choice. Kiko, I have to ask you before you get to your story. Natalie, you can weigh in on this too. Would you approach a girl at the gym who's always there with her friend? Like if there's two of them, you know what I mean?
So Will, you and I have worked out together.
Yes, we did.
And
you wouldn't do it, Natalie?
The answer is always no to this question.
Okay, well.
If she's there with a friend, they're going to make fun of you.
Kiko, do you agree? Is that how it goes?
You're not going to the gym with a friend that's not essentially playing cock block, honestly. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, she's not your wingman, or she's not the person's wingman, essentially there. So, true story, Natalie, is that Will and I worked out, and when he was up here, and there was a girl showing interest, but she's the girl that was showing interest to everybody.
Yes,
and so
I was not special.
So she. Well, you were, because you met her demographic. I mean, you're tall, you're good looking, you got the tattoos, and so you have things to talk about. But as I immediately told her, I was like, "Hey, was it the girl in the blue shorts?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was her." I was like, that girl has been with like 18 different people like over the past 2 months. Just letting you know. So
Will don't care.
Yeah, I do, Natalie. I'm not a hoe, just so the chat knows. Florida, I went to the one girl's house, but nothing crazy happened.
Correct.
Yeah,
well, you're just living.
Listen,
yeah, I was living life. I was a little bit of a hoe for a little while though, which people know about. And I called Kiko.
To answer Aunt Natalie's question, like, and I'm just speaking objectively, if a girl comes up with her like wingman type of thing, you're out essentially, because you cannot get through both of them essentially, because it's like a trial process. Like you have to break down the girls' wall, and then you have to break down the prospects' wall as well. And like they put that there for a reason, because they don't want to have to deal with you. So
it's like the bouncer at the door. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. It's another level of security.
So there's two pieces to this. The first one, just like Kiko said, you got the non-wingman. It's the anti-wingman. It's if you're not showing me the same attention, then I'm going to talk smack about you as soon as you walk away, right? Okay. So they block you. But if you walk up and you just say something like, "Hey, are you using these weights?" Even if you don't give a crap about the weights, are you using these weights? And they're going to say, "Oh no, they're all."
Why do y'all use the same like dialogue though? That's literally what they said to Will. They're like,
then you look at the one.
The girl did say that. She did.
You look at the one you're interested in, and you give her a little smile, and you walk away, because they're going to talk about you. They're going to say, "What, you think he's interested?" All right. Then the wingman comes out of the friend. She's like, "I'll find out." She's going to come to you and be like, "Hey, you were wanting these weights. Do you have a girlfriend?" She's going to find out the details for the friend. That's how it works. And if you go to her first, then the other one might feel offended, and then they cock block you. It's an art. It's an art.
Okay, it's an art. Okay.
It is true. Like Natalie said, it is an art, and it's not a fair art, to be fair. Like, it's extremely prejudiced. It's extremely doesn't make sense. But like, you have to play their game. You have to play their game.
Okay. Well, the good news is, like, I think I played it out in my mind. Like, I'll call Natalie on FaceTime before I do it now, and then I'll introduce myself. And like, this is my friend Natalie. She's gonna coach me through this interaction. And then like we're gonna see how this goes. Yeah.
So what do you think about the J&D Ron?
Yeah. Dude, what if I do a strangers video in the gym, dude? I could go up and be like, "So I have this J&D Joker here. Like I need your opinion." Yeah, I'd probably get kicked out. But Kiko, we got to get to our first topic. But I mean, what happened, dude? Where you got violated today? Tell the people real fast.
Okay. So I've been on the lake since 11 Central Time. Okay. So I've been out there for, let's just say, 4 hours. Okay. So splishing and splashing and doing our thing. Okay. So when you're out there and you're eating and drinking or whatever, sometimes you need a bio break. Okay. And I've taken several bio breaks in the ocean and the lake and all that stuff, to where you piss. Okay. Just being straight honest. All right. With y'all here. Y'all are my family. So the last one, before we started to do the tubing part, is, I just kind of whip it out, and because my thing is that, I kind of whip it out underwater, Natalie, is that I whip it out and I just start to pee, okay? Because I don't want it to hit my swimsuit. That's the thing. It's like, "Oh, just pee in the water." I was like, "Well, I don't want my swimsuit covered in piss." I'm like, "All right, fine." Like, and so I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and whip it out and piss." And so I'm sitting there floating, doing my thing. And honest to God, like it was almost like a rooster tail lure. Some fucking fish went up and bit my dick twice. And to where I was like,
That's
what the
bait.
fuck? And like I panicked. And because that's not a normal occurrence. And
no, I've never had it happen.
And so like I'm panicked. Okay. At the time, like, have I been violated? Am I dying? Whatever. And so I'm with, and to my knowledge, apparently Heather and Michael are supposed to show up to our house in like another hour. And Heather, who is a nurse, said, all right, you know, friendship aside, from a medical professional, do you need me to look at your penis to make sure we're good? I'm like, I don't think it's that serious yet, but we'll see. And she's like, you know, I'm okay. You know, I can look at your dick if you need me to make sure that we're good. And I'm like, I don't know. But there's literally like bite marks, like on 2 bite marks on the tip of my penis, Will.
They're visible bite marks? They're there?
Visible fucking
There's
bite
battle
marks.
Damage?
There's battle damage. I'm the battle damage Iron Man at this point. And so like I'm like, what the fuck? And so I'm like asking Heather, I'm like, am I gonna die?
Probably looked like a little worm.
Doubt. Fucking snake. King Cobra out there. Y'all know how I roll.
They thought they were under attack, so they attacked first. That's what it was. There
All
are
that to
snakes
say
in the water. Yeah.
that I was attacked today. And so like as of right now, there's still bite marks on the tip of my dick. And depending on how this live stream goes, at the end of it, okay, Jay. At the end of this live stream, if there's still marks and it's spreading, I need to let Heather know, and we may need to
amputate.
Not amputate. I don't think, but like we do need to make sure. But I got fucking bit in my dick, y'all. That's wild.
Do you know what kind of fish it was? Like, do we know? So
no, I didn't say like, hey, can I get your social security card? Like,
well, you got it's like a car crash. You exchange insurance. Like,
no, like he's like chomp chomp and dip. It may have been 2 fishes. Chomp,
I mean, some women do
I
that,
don't know.
so they chomp and dip. So yeah,
I get that.
It's definitely a thing. Probably the
either
girl
way,
at the gym.
like I was violated. I'm concerned. Like I'll do a quick like peek just to like, I don't know.
We're gonna get demonetized any second.
Okay, so like it's starting to go down.
Okay,
like,
well, Amy examined, right?
Is Amy in here?
Yeah, she was in here earlier. She examined, right?
Amy took a look. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's the only one credible to do it.
It's starting to go down to where there's not much of a bite mark anymore. So I think we're gonna be okay.
Okay. Cool.
But I was literally bit by the fish on the dick today.
Well, that was a great story, dude. Honestly, I think it's honestly like a PSA. Like everyone who goes out there who pees in the water now, just go in your trunks. Dude.
And no, seriously. Like everyone looks at me like, "What the fuck? You actually whipped it out to pee?" I'm like, I'm sorry, do you all just literally piss your pants in the lake? I'm sorry. Like I wanted to like not ruin my pants. Like I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I guess because like we need to move on, but I think at this point, like even if you piss your pants, even if you piss out of your pants, you're still swimming around in it.
No, you find the current, you turn, and it like floats that way.
But then it might float towards your friends. Like
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about me.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway, J&D's Ron.
Yeah, exactly. J&D Ron. J&D Ron. That's the snake in the water right there. But let's talk about Ladypool. Ladypool, because you know what? This is the figure that has recently been announced, and it's all the hot and it's all the rage right now. There was like a big controversy about whether there was a special edition or not, and apparently someone has Sideshow and there's not a special edition, Kiko. Yeah. So I find this very interesting. But my question, Kiko, mostly being, I think this figure actually looks really cool. I think it actually is a cool thing. If you've seen the film, it's not a spoiler. She's barely in it, right? She's in it for like 0.5 seconds, right? And it is Blake Lively as far as I've heard. So I think that's pretty cool. So fans of her and of course Connection Environmentals think it's great there. There were a lot of jokes, by the way. That was with Nice Pool. I won't spoil that, but you know, it's kind of like, oh, she just had baby. You can't even tell. Like, dude, that was fantastic. But Kiko, among the bevy of amazing recent announcements, does this one stand out to be worthy of a purchase for collectors to add to their collection? Because there's so many good things being announced from different companies now, like J&D Ron. And of course, you know, we have, you know, this Ladypool, which I think looks pretty damn cool. But where does she fit amongst the, you know, the current offerings? What are your thoughts on this?
If you're a Marvel fan, am I up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're up. Yep.
Okay. If you're a Marvel fan, for sure. Like, if I know some people there's no reason to get this if you don't have a Deadpool, for sure. Like, I understand this is an accessory piece, 100%. Unless you're just like, fuck Deadpool. I'm a Ladypool guy. This is the guy. This is the lady I want. Sure, I get that. But this is a great complementary piece to your like Deadpool shelf, essentially. Like if I'm looking at mine, like I'm looking at Cable, I'm looking at Deadpool 2, Dusty Deadpool, Venom Pool, soon to be the Wolverine Deadpool, coming soon with those gold guns, whatever. And then you'll have this. And I really think it's a great complementary piece for sure. For the people but I would only get this if you have or already have like a Deadpool like line in your house. Like I don't think this is a standalone piece. Like, oh, this is my definitive Deadpool. No, it's not. This is 100% an accessory piece. So I'm intrigued, like you'd said, because there was a listing for the normal release and the special edition release, and the biggest talk on the internet is what you have pulled up: the fucking couch.
Yep.
Like everyone wants this couch. And it's not found anywhere. No one knows where this couch is from.
It must have been the special edition that never came to be. That's all I can assume.
And so I'll be honest with you, Will. I've held out at this point.
Have you?
I have, because I 100% am getting Lady Deadpool. But do I get the special edition that has the couch? 100%. I want the couch. That is an incredible. So any type of like furniture accessories are a rarity when it comes to like 6-scale figures and such. This is an absolute must, just for the accessory piece. I don't know how long I want to hold out, but I'm thinking, like you said, they took it off of the Sideshow thing. Maybe it was just someone like, I don't know. It's weird. I am more interested in the couch than I am the figure at this point. But the figure looks great. Excited about the hair, whatever you want to call it. But I really want the couch because I think this is an absolute game changer.
Well, Kiko, someone said it was like almost like sort of a half artisan because it is like a wool rooted hair apparently, and it does have that sort of
ponytail. I mean, it's no different. It's no different than any of. I mean, how can a ponytail go wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm not worried about that.
Well, it's so good. The content is not available. Okay, I got it back now. Okay, cool. That couch, dude. I'm with you. The couch pretty awesome. Someone dropped a comment, Kiko, because I know you were critical of the InArt Hobby Lobby basis. Someone said you can get a couch like this at Hobby Lobby. So
no, okay, send me the fucking link then. I've never I've seen some like wood doll houses and bullshit. I've never seen a couch like this at Hobby Lobby. Send me the fucking link.
I will say though, Kiko, you absolutely have a point. Like this could go really well with Deadpool and Wolverine. I think this could be a really cool accessory piece, a complimentary piece. It's not going to be for me. I am getting Deadpool Wolverine. I cannot wait. But someone,
did you get that day one? Where'd you get that from?
No, no. Fuck you, dude. No, I didn't. I didn't get it day one. Not anymore. I'll tell people really happened. So basically, I was gonna order it day one, but I decided to cancel. I ordered it with Josh. Long story short, there's more to it, but that's all I really want to say about it. I felt more comfortable buying it with Josh. Let's just say that. So that's what we did.
As you should. Buy with people that you trust. Don't go around people that have bad reputations. I'm just saying, take that for what you want.
Kiko, we'll talk about that's another topic. I was like irrationally up. This had nothing to do with my cancellation, actually, but I was like irrationally upset that Sideshow moved it up by a year. And I was like, fuck me, dude. But we'll talk about that. Natalie, Ladypool, is this a dopo for you? What are your thoughts?
Not for me. To address the couch, how many times we get a chair or an accessory or something that comes like in a promo photo? It just never comes. I don't think it's coming. I think the couch.
I mean, Artisan Joker is coming with a chair, so I want a chair.
Is that the Joker casting couch?
It was announced in it, though, wasn't it? They showed it. Lady Deadpool doesn't show anything with a couch.
No.
I mean, the Artisan Joker specifically says you're getting this prop replica couch or chair, whatever you want to call it.
The Joaquin, right, yeah,
right. But that's it calls it out. So I don't know. If you're waiting for it, I don't know that it's going to.
But where did you get this couch? Someone's taking pictures of it.
Look, AI is a real thing. It could be. It could be a piece of cardboard, and they just made it look like a couch.
Could be. This isn't even a scene in the film. So
right. So that's kind of where I was going to go with this, right? I think Lady Deadpool is definitely an interesting choice for them to release, but at the same time, this is going to be. So, all right, Lady Deadpool was a very fun surprise in the movie. Fun fact, most of you probably already know, but that's Ryan Reynolds' wife. Blake Lively actually played Lady Deadpool or Ladypool. So I think it's a character people love. If you know anything about the comics, right? All, as they would say in the movie, right? All you comic book nerds, get out your special sock. This is what this figure is for. It's for all of the special sock. I don't know that. I appreciate them expanding the Deadpool universe and getting this line to be something, because like, how many figures can you release from this line? They're all Deadpools. You could reach in and say, okay, we're going to do a Blade. Or, yeah, sorry, I'm not trying to spoil anything if you haven't seen the movie already. But
no,
right?
But I mean, with Mahershala,
It's
that's
been
gonna
a
happen.
week. Come on.
Right. Or I'm gonna do one of those other like set of characters in that scene, right? I won't say the rest of them in case you haven't seen it. But that scene had quite a bit of characters that people were like, wow, mind blown. Maybe they do those, but do they do that? Like, you'd have to get a whole likeness and head sculpt all just for a side character that may not sell well because it was like a half of a scene. Probably not. So they're probably going to go with the things that they don't need to do head sculpts for. So I could totally see during D23, they come out with like Cowboy Deadpool, right? But it's a limited, you're going to get like 500 pieces, or you're going to get like some super small number. I could see every one of the ones coming out. So I think this was a good idea to have as a full release, allow the people who want it to get it, because the comic book character is just like with me. I didn't understand the significance of the Clone Force or the clone game. I don't play the game. I don't even know what video game it is. I'm sorry. I'm not a big video
Clone
game.
Wars, the Scorch guy.
Yeah, Scorch, right? I always thought he was just a Bad Batch, like background character. You guys all schooled me, right? Natalie, how dare you not know every character from every video game you've never played? Lesson learned. I won't do it again. But for this is not that kind. Everybody knows that there's a Lady Deadpool. Everybody knows there's a Lady Thor. Everybody knows there's a gender bent version of something. So this gives every one of those comic book nerds the opportunity to get her without being locked behind a paywall. But I think they'll probably do things like this with the other characters as well, but maybe on a more limited scale. So I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm curious to see how many people's wallets can handle it right now, though, with all the other exciting stuff on the horizon, things that are going on. Might be a tough sell for some people to prioritize, like myself. But I love it. I love her ponytail. I love her body. I love her look. And I think she's going to be a great character. Unfortunately, no couch, but I think she'll be a great side piece. No pun intended.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. And I think because I think this could be a character that does appear moving forward, though. At least maybe not like a main character, but it could be something that, it does have like long staying power. Essentially, I think that could be something that you find yourself, with this type of figure. But it is an accessory piece. I love the movie, though. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see it again. I think it's just what Marvel needed right now. I think it's a breath of fresh air. It's great. I mean, all the Deadpool movies are good. This is my favorite personally, but I think all of them, and I cannot wait. I'm most excited for the Deadpool himself. That one I just cannot wait for. I cannot wait to add that to my collection. And, whenever Josh ships that again, they moved it up a year. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I couldn't be more excited about it, right? I had to break out my old, not Dusty Deadpool. I called him Dusty Deadpool because he's just been in a box for so long. Nice. No one's as big of a fan of Dusty Deadpool as Kiko is, but I had to break out Deadpool 2 just to put him up on my shelf again. I broke him out the closet just until I get the other one. But now they're releasing it so soon, he's about to go back in the box. So
right. I love that, though. I love the Sideshow moved it up. So I mean, it's something that I think is pretty remarkable. Honestly, that's something that I think we should talk about at least real briefly. We'll move on. This one doesn't have to be too long of a topic, but I think it's worth noting. Sideshow moved the Deadpool. They had it from Q2 to Q3 of next year, right? Which is why I initially ordered it from Hong Kong, because I said, oh, great. Let's go ahead and get it early, maybe do a review, do some other content with it. And then, it'll be useful while the movie's hot, right? And then all the emails started pouring in. Oh, your delivery date is moved up a whole fucking year, right? Yeah. And then all of us who ordered Hong Kong look totally ridiculous. And again, I think this was a huge lesson for all of us that patience is so important. Even if you're a content creator, and you want to do things quickly, you want to strike while the iron is hot, I get that. Sometimes, though, patience just pays off. And I think that clearly is what happened for all the collectors who decided to order, especially if you're in the States. If you go through Sideshow, it's too expensive for you because of customs fees, you live in Europe or whatever, I get it, right? But if you order, you're in the States, somewhere similar, and you order from Sideshow or Comic Concept or somewhere, typically you could have saved a lot of money. I get that too. But I got to ask you, Kiko, is there a lesson to be learned here? What are your thoughts? Because this thing is coming out it could drop this month. It says August to December. This thing could come out in August, right? The timed exclusive has not even expired yet on the pre-order window, and they might release it before then. That's wild. Kiko, what are your thoughts on this?
So this is different from the D23 Spider-Man. This is different from the D23 Captain America because this is a full release that is ready. And this is what you get. So recently, ACGHK, I guess, is what this was. They're like, hey, first 800 people here, get this figure. You can have it now. It's ready. And plenty of people like yourself decided to say, okay, I'll play ball. And I would love to have this figure in now because I don't want to play the waiting game. And I get that, bro. For real. I mean, for someone that likes shit like now,
yeah,
I get that for sure because I hate waiting. I hate it. But as you or others may have put their order in, they're like, oh shit, I looked on Reddit and this got moved up. So when I saw this, I'm like, this makes sense to me because this isn't a D23 exclusive. There's nothing changing. This is the release that they plan to release in a year from now. So what exactly is changing? So when I got the email saying, hey, your Deadpool has been moved up to August of this year, I'm like, that makes sense. Why wouldn't it? Because everything is ready to go. So I wasn't surprised because I kind of felt that was getting ready to happen because it's happened before. So is there a lesson to be learned is the question you're asking. I think so. A little bit because there are some people that like, hey, when something's released, I'm not fucking waiting. I want it now. Well, that used to be me. This used to be me to where I would pay a fuck ton to be able to say, haha, bitches, I got it now. That type of thing. And then
you can get yours at Pop Collectibles.
Fuck you, y'all. Do not use Pop Collectibles. So I honestly would be like, okay, look, I got mine now months ahead of time. I'm cool. And I'm like, was that worth it though? And did that help my channel? Did it help my account? Whatever it may be. And so I'm looking at this, like you said, the timed release is still what, 11 or 13 days? I can't really see from there.
Yeah, 13 days. 13 days.
Okay. So most likely we might get shipping notifications started before this timer expires, which is good, which is a good thing because at the end of the day, here's the lesson to be learned. Like you'd said, the shit's coming to us when it comes to us. And I know, look, y'all, I know no one wants to collect pre-orders. No one wants to do that. But do you really want to pay? Well, forgive me if I'm talking out my ass, but isn't it let's say $150, $200 extra to have this now as opposed to getting it a month later as opposed to right now?
That's what it was. Yeah, it was $130 to $150. Yeah.
Okay, to me, okay, what could I do with $130, $150 over the next month? And what does me having it sooner really benefit the collecting community? I don't do review. No, this is just me. I'm not you. I don't do reviews. I don't make money off of any of this stuff. So why do I have to have it right now? So when I saw people like, hey, y'all, if you want the gold guns and you want to capitalize on the hype, I got y'all. Come and pay for this shit. I'm like, probably not. And then Will's like, I went ahead and pre-ordered mine. I can't wait. I'm like, we'll see. And then this dropped. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. But that's the lesson, is that there's no rush, people. And I really I understand. Look, y'all, I understand being excited and wanting to have something, but is it worth the extra scratch to get it now? And to me, not anymore, bro. Not anymore.
Same. I think so. And even shout out to Dante Manahawk Collectibles in here. He said, even as a reviewer myself, I found that it's not worth paying extra for a figure. If you're new to the game, it might be worth it. I think it's worth it if you're in a place where Sideshow is so expensive, it's not worth buying from them or Comic Concept or somewhere else.
It depends on where you're at,
right?
For sure.
Right. If it's okay, I can buy from Kit. Kit honestly is a great place because he sells it pretty close to Sideshow retail. It's not first batch, but there are other options out there. But still, I mean, I felt really dumb, honestly. I felt really dumb that I did that. But again, my idea, Kiko, was let's get it, take it out.
But you had a good intention, for sure.
I wanted to do a Strangers video while the movie was hot. That was the idea. I was like, I was going to take my Deadpool out, do a strangers video, interview some people, maybe after they go see the movie or something like that. And that, I thought it was a good content idea. That's why I was doing it. But I still felt dumb at the end of the day. So,
but
you know,
like you said, and this has been a topic before, like you and I are not bankrolling on our YouTube channels. You know what I'm saying? Like if anything, we're paying to make content. Essentially.
We are.
Like we're not making a profit off of this. Like there is like the 0.01% of YouTubers that are in this hobby that are making money off of this.
My accountant even asked me that. Like he was like, can we legitimately claim this as a business if you don't have a legitimate chance of turning a profit? That's what he told me.
It's funny because my accountant asked me, what the hell are you spending all this money on this place called sideshow.com?
He was like, what the fuck is this?
Seems to be your big problem gap. This could be retirement money. And I said, don't worry about that.
Block this website.
Yeah, don't ask questions, bitch. We pay you to make sure that I'm not audited. That's all we're doing.
What is this comic concept?
Don't judge me.
Yeah. Anyway, Natalie, what are your thoughts on this? Is there a lesson to be learned from this whole experience?
Yes, there is. Don't ever rely on this to ever happen again.
Okay.
Continue to buy the things that you want to buy and buy them when you want to buy them. If it is available and if it comes out, okay. Now I have a couple opinions here. Captain America, D23, Endgame version. Everybody jumped on that bandwagon, spent $500,000 for this figure. That was wrong. If you remember, the shield was not the right. I don't even remember.
It wasn't broken the right way.
It wasn't broken the right way. So everyone jumped in and they bought a figure that was wrong. But because it was released then, everybody wanted it. And then the next one came out and it was better. So, I mean, it's almost like one of those where it's like if it releases immediately, there's one of two things that's going to happen. Either, okay, great, you're the first guy to get it and someone will get it later. But more times than not, you're the first person to get it and then there's a problem and then they fix it later. Or you think you're the first person to get it and then they do something like this where you've paid all this extra money. So the lesson learned for me is when a humongous buy now or FOMO, like it's coming right now or FOMO comes out, take a step back because every single time it feels like some big mountain of mistake is coming to follow, whether that be it's going to be wrong, the joints aren't going to work, something's going to be messed up with it that they'll fix in the later release, or everyone is about to get it at the same time. So that's my lesson to be learned. If Hong Kong gets it, I'm going to wait because that means Sideshow has probably kicked Hot Toys in the nuts. Like, hey, if you're going to be doing these things, you need to start including us. We're your number one distribution on for the rest of the world. So if you don't treat us as equals, then we need to have a serious conversation. It feels like that has happened, which is why they're getting things at the same time or quicker or sometimes almost right after. So I'm going to put my money on don't trust the very first wave of hype. Give it a second and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. And I think so. I mean, Natalie, look, the regular edition and the collector's edition, both of the dates updated to August to December. So, you know, we've been asking for this for a long time. A lot of people have said they need to start releasing hype shit around when it's hype at the time.
Why do you think this happened?
I think, like you said, they've been working on it for a while and there was no head sculpt. So it was no head sculpt. And I think it made sense to do this. And it sucks that they don't have Wolverine, but Wolverine has a head sculpt. So it makes sense that Wolverine comes out way later. Deadpool is probably much easier to produce for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Because I can't imagine this will ever happen outside of having Clone Troopers or something where it's like a super quick production. I can't imagine this happens again. So I would also say don't get your expectations up. Like, oh, this is what they're doing to combat, in art. I don't think that's what this is. I think this movie was supposed to come out last year. It got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And this is probably a product of they had the artist conception and they had the 360 files for a long time. It's probably already been in development for a while. I almost guarantee, and this is personal opinion, I can almost guarantee there was a scene in the movie where Deadpool was holding the baby that they cut. Yeah, and that's why he's got this accessory. Everyone's like, why is this? He never does this. It feels like they probably, with all the reshooting and the edits, they probably cut it out of the scene. Otherwise, I don't know why Hot Toys would have put this in there. They would have done some adamantium skeleton or something as opposed to this.
Right. I think this was concept art that they got ahead of time that changed, which happens all the time. Look at the fucking Doctor Strange Spider-Man suit. It's all wrong. It's entirely wrong. And Hot Toys released that pretty early, right around when the film came out, and it was entirely wrong. Yeah, like because probably they went off the concept art. They went off what Marvel sent them, and then and then they changed it. So
Great
yeah.
point.
I think it's pretty crazy. So yeah, guys, I think there are some lessons for sure to be learned from this. So let's recap this crazy week that we just had, right? The week of exclusives. It's got to be. We have what 3 artists and live drops and Scorch, which a lot of people honestly he didn't go quite as fast as I thought he would. Although Joaquin Phoenix Joker is the most surprising artist drop I've ever seen in terms of how long it lasted on the website. It was just remarkable. So I want to talk about this. I kind of want to recap this and just kind of see how we're feeling about it. Kiko, I got to ask you the question, bro. I mean, this was a crazy week of exclusives. We can bring up some examples here. Again, we had Widow, we had Joaquin Phoenix Joker, we had the Iron Spider. There was a lot of stuff that happened here. And I went live for all of them. Kiko was live with me for the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I did end up canceling for those who were wondering what I was going to do. Kiko knew I was going to. It just didn't make sense. People wanted me to do it, Natalie, for content purposes, to compare them, maybe do a strangers video with both of them. Maybe I'll regret it. I'm happy with the in art. I'm gonna stick with the in art and go with those. But Kiko, the week we're gonna talk more about exclusives, so don't say too much yet. But just this specific week of exclusives, it's over. How do we feel now that the dust is settled? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't want to blow my entire load on this, but like, damn, that was quite an undertaking because, as I said, the summer showcase, and I just did a video about this. Check it out.
You did. It was great.
That there were 9 absolute bangers. There's not one on there like, oh, this is fucking shit. They're all good. They really are. Whether you are, if you're a DC fan, I'm sorry, you're probably sitting there like saying, well, I didn't get a lot. Well, you got Joker. That's about it. But of those 9, they're all incredible pieces. Mix in some artisans, mix in some things that people have been absolutely like blue balling over, such as the, General Grievous, Battle Damage Vader, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. We've had a big 2 weeks, if you want to call it that. And I'm happy. I really am, because this is like the pinnacle of great collecting. And I even said this in my latest video. A lot of people say this is the best time to be a collector because honestly, 3-4 years ago, you couldn't even imagine these drops actually coming. Mm-hmm. Not just from the selection, but from the quality. Artisan wasn't even a thing a year and a half ago. No one even talked about that. That wasn't a thing. But now we have artisans. Now we have figures that we were, fawning over for years. Granted, you can talk about the Battle Damage Vader, and I wish you could have done the Kenobi Vader, whatever it is. That's an option on the table. But how many times have people been craving a General Grievous? It's here. It's here now. And regardless of what you feel about in art, people craving a red suit Joaquin Joker, it's here. And they dropped heat. So it's been an expensive week for sure. And like I said in my video, if you got all of them, that's $3,500. $3,500 in 1 week that you could potentially commit to, saying, I need all of these, because that's the way we are. You're like, oh, fuck, I don't want anyone to have it before me. That's what we are. We're collectors. We understand it. So how do we feel? I don't know. Do a pulse check. How do you feel, collectors, people watching this? Did you buy things that you shouldn't have? Did you fall into FOMO? Because, Will, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I think 3 out of the 5 business days, you text me like, oh, shit, I think I'm getting FOMO on X, Y, and Z.
I did.
You did.
I did 100%. I resisted every time. I resisted.
And that's what, and can we hit the sound?
Yeah, we got the applause. We got the applause ready.
There you go. I want to give you an applause because that's what a lot of the collectors don't have, the restraint. And so many people come with that, facing the reality of, do I buy this? Do I not? Do I pre-order or not? I can't afford this, but damn, it would be really cool. And a lot of people is like, oh, I don't want to miss this. What if I miss it? I'll never get it again. and people buy shit they don't want. And Will, like you said, you gave the claps. You, even on the live stream yesterday, everyone's like, should I get this? Should I not? And ultimately you said, you know what? I got the in-art secured. I don't need this. And that's where we need to be as collectors.
Mhm.
Being able to say no. Being able to say no. And I feel like that's the hardest thing as collectors, honestly. Because it's hard for me. And
It's
I know
really
it's
hard.
probably, I know it's probably hard for y'all to be able to say, this is exclusive. I may never get this again, but I don't need it. And that's the hardest part. Being able to rationalize and tell yourself no. And sadly, I still think there's plenty of people that say, yes! And they log that pre-order. And then, honestly, they'll get the, hey, your XYZ is about to ship. Are you ready for this final payment? And I'm like, oh, shit, I need to cancel. So now you're out of NRD and a deposit and a figure. So does that make sense? That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, because Kiko, I'm feeling it now, even with like sort of timed exclusives. We talked about the Vader, the battle damage Vader. I love the Kenobi version. So for me, a lot of people sold their Kenobi to get this new version. But to me,
Which I think is insane, by the way.
I'd rather keep the Kenobi personally. Like the Kenobi one, I love. I think it's perfect. It's pleather. I get that. It doesn't have quite the battle damage, but I love that moment from the show. Even though the show was ass, I love that moment from the show, that specific scene. So I'm keeping that one. I have it in hand now. I'm not getting rid of that Kenobi Vader. I love it. So, you know, and I'm also, Kiko, I've even felt FOMO when I posted it today. The Iron Man Mark 42. I think it looks absolutely incredible. But do I have a connection to that suit? Not really. Like, that's not my favorite suit, although I do like it. But I hope I'm not contributing to the FOMO by doing these live drop streams. I think they're just fun. A lot of people just join the queue, and you don't have to buy it. Don't buy anything based on FOMO or because the community, you want to fit in, right? You can fit in and just have a good time with us and just hang, dude. You don't got to buy anything. You can just buy all the stuff that's important to you. But Natalie, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, to me, it's been a good kind of overwhelming. It's a very exciting type of overwhelming feeling. But this week, luckily, I didn't want any of the artisans at the end of the day, right? So I didn't order any of those. So I saved a lot of money, but this would have been a very expensive week otherwise. So Natalie, how do you feel? Do you feel exhausted, excited? Where are you at on the spectrum here?
Yeah, so let me hold on, let me grab this.
Did you order Joker?
I'm going to raise a drink to all of the people who survived this week. And for those of my brothers and sisters who didn't survive, we'll pour one out.
I got my water. I'm ready.
If your wallet didn't survive, I'm so sorry. This week has been nuts. I personally have had moments where I've taken breaks and or meetings in a car on speaker so I could be in queues. I have personally watched people that I know from this chat regret purchases that they later can no longer cancel because of FOMO. I have watched people make sacrifices and wonder whether or not they should have done the things they did. But at the end of the day, all of this, as you were saying, Kiko, all the money that we spent, it is a product of our own desire. We have enabled Hot Toys. We've told them, we're here. We're in the queue. We're in line. We're ready. Whatever you throw at us, we're going to buy it. And if you throw anything at us, we're going to be in the queue and we're going to have 7 browsers up and we're going to go. So they're doing it. They're testing us. They're testing how committed we are to it. And just like Kiko's dick in the water, we are bait. And
it was double bait. Yeah.
We are biting.
Damn, Nat, you're the best.
I had a great week. I thought it was a lot of fun. I've enjoyed dialing into the streams. Even when I wasn't going to buy something, it was just really fun to watch. I get excited for people who get excited. People are ordering things that I personally won't get, like the Black Widow. I'm just not that I'm not a Black Widow person. I love all the Avengers. I'm a big fan, but like I've only got finite amount of space. And like I have a number of characters that are like my top tier. I'm not going into tier-based collecting, but that really has stuck with me. I'm not going to lie. So like I really prioritize now. And it's just not there. But I loved being I wasn't even in the queue. I was just watching the streams and I loved watching people get it. And, you know, hey, I got it. My first artisan. I just felt real happy for people. That's how I felt when I got, you know, the ones that I really wanted. And I got the Joker and I was really excited. So it was a good week. I think this was a week that brought everybody really close together in regards to collecting. It wasn't like that first week with the artist and Anakin where everybody like just hated collecting. They're like, this is why I freaking hate this hobby. It's the worst. they were making videos, acting like Hulk Hogan in the wrestling ring. They hated collecting in that moment. But to answer a question, I saw one or two of them. Imposter Joker, I was going to get it. I had every intention. I was there. I was ready. I spoke about it at home. I was like, this is where I'm doing it. I'm going to put it ironically next to the Flash because he's a DC character, right? It's the only place I could do. And then they announced the other Joker. And I said, well, I'm going to have to make a choice here because I can't have both. And I picked the other Joker. I did. It was a hard choice, but I did it because if it wasn't for that bathroom scene, which I'll never get my hands on, because let's face it, that's going to go for the price of the 4-pack one day. I know it. Just never going to happen.
Yeah.
But if I had to get one of them, at least it would be the red suit. So prioritize that. But here's where I'm at. I'm going to have to make some sacrifices. So I looked at my pre-order list. I'm out of space. I got like 5 cubbies in my display case that I thought would last me like 2 years. It ain't even lasted me 8 months. So I have to make some sacrifices. So I'm going to have to cut some pre-orders and I'll have to lose some NRDs. I don't know. It's the first one on the list. It's hard to do, but God, Loki.
Oh my God, Natalie, that's wild, right there. It is pretty large though. You have the throne.
I haven't done it yet though, but he's so big. I haven't done it yet. I'm like,
I wouldn't do it, Natalie, until it releases because let's see what it looks like because there's no incentive for you to cancel now. So
if it looks amazing, I'm going to kick myself. I'm going to keep it. Like I have to do it now because it's just rough. So anyone out there who missed out on God Loki, before I cancel him out into the ether, you want to message me, I will be happy.
Well, at least wait till it's possibly delayed because if it's delayed, you get your NRD.
You get the NRD back.
No, regardless of NRD, like if there's some, I trust this community. This fandom is great. Everyone in this chat.
Yeah, for sure.
At one point or another, I've come to grow some sort of fondness of. So if there's anyone who wants it, just message me or message Will, and I'll be glad to gift it to you.
How about that Artisan Anakin?
Yeah, is that on the chopping block? Is the Anakin on the chopping?
Is Artisan Anakin still on the chopping block?
I've already canceled that one. That one.
Wait. Time out.
No, she didn't.
I'm just messing with you.
She did.
Natalie, I've already had my dick bit by a fish. Like, don't be doing that to me. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Natalie.
No, I've already promised you, Kiko, right? As soon as I get
I have a few people lined up, but I want yours, Natalie, if I can't get
what?
Because Natalie doesn't really want hers at the end, so she can sell it. She'll be fine.
It comes down to like safety and feeling comfortable with people. Like
that's true.
I do not feel like Natalie would fuck me over. So
she might. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, hold on, let me get my fish.
Yeah, right, exactly. She might, dude. No,
no, absolutely not. So I've already we don't have to go into it again and again, but like I've already said, like
there we go. There's one in the chat right now, Natalie. 16GJ. I'm in need of a Loki Artisan. There you go.
All right. Well, 16GJ. I message me after this, or I'll there's no way I'm going to find you. If you message me, I will absolutely send it to you. So
there we go.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to my Padawan Anakin, very much so. Still haven't gotten him yet. I got this finally, but still haven't unboxed it. I'm going to put it somewhere.
Ooh, I haven't got mine from Josh yet.
That's figure of the year, honestly.
It's Kiko. So I was right about another one.
Yep.
I was right.
I will officially retract my statement because I didn't think it was going. When you get it in hand and you play with it and all the accessories, it's figure of the year. Honestly,
okay. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yep.
I don't know. This Tom Holland head sculpt is unbeatable.
Yeah.
Which Tom Holland? The red and blue?
New red and blue.
Yeah.
I've never. No, this is better.
So I don't
because you can actually pose the black suit.
Mm. Yeah, but the head sculpt on Tom is really good.
You're not wrong.
It's all pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. And by the way, shout out to Dinesh in the chat. Dinesh, I did tell Kiko, so Dinesh is definitely an option. If Dinesh wants to sell his, then for sure we're gonna do that. I met Dinesh in San Diego Comic-Con. Great dude. He came up to me. There was a couple people that came up to me, and like I said, I was like, tell me your username, because they would tell me their real name, and I'm like, I need to know your username. That's how I know you on YouTube.
Yeah,
Dinesh,
I know you like handles. I don't know you by your real name.
Right, exactly. Dinesh, I know though, because that's his actual handle, so it made sense. But other than that, guys, let's revisit this Hot Toys Marvel Summer thing, because we're nearing the end of summer, honestly. We have what, another month? What is technically the end of summer? I mean, September I consider fall, right? So
I think August 21st is the
so
end.
we have what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks
Sure.
of hot girl, hot toys, Marvel summer. I think that's definitely where things are going, right? So I made this graphic earlier today because I did have a half day at work, so I had a little bit more time. So I had to kind of scrunch some stuff together, but I did get them all on there. I don't know if I missed anything. I think I got everything now. I put everything on there that has been announced of the Marvel Summer event since they announced they were doing one, right? So we got a couple Deadpools, obviously a Deadpool and a Ladypool, a couple Wolverines, an Iron Man, a couple Iron Mans, 3 Iron Mans, of course. We knew we were going to get that. Only one Spider-Man, a little bit of a surprise there. So I guess there's still some time to get another Spider-Man in there from Howard. But Kiko, gotta ask you, so far, honestly, there's some good shit in here, but I don't even know if we can count the Deadpool and Wolverine shit. Because that's like already, it was like a movie already. I mean, they were already going to make that. They were already going to make Deadpool and Wolverine and Thirst Trap Wolverine. That was already locked and loaded, right? But really, we're thinking about what's outside of that. Artisan Black Widow, yeah, that's a W for most people. That's a W. Iron Spider, yeah, not the suit I would have picked, but people are excited about it. The Mark 42, I think that's a W too. I think it's not the right W2 like taxes. I think it's a W also. I think that's one that's a really good figure. It's just not the suit that's iconic for me, right? But a lot of people do feel that way, and I think it looks incredible. And I'm kind of feeling FOMO on it, but I'm going to pass. Kiko, so far, until we get Artisan Winter Soldier and Corvus Glaive, is this Marvel Summer, is it a disappointment or is it satisfaction right now? What are your thoughts?
I'm going to go off the beaten path and say this is satisfaction because we're not promised anything to start off. For all the people that literally piss their pants because, oh my God, they didn't deliver on May the 4th. I didn't get enough Star Wars announcements. Fuck. How many people say that? Like every May the 4th, they're like, oh, this is the year. They're going to show me everything I want. And then people are disappointed. I don't know what more you could want, honestly. To be fair, I'm going to play devil's advocate. No one likes a repaint like the Iron Man, especially that Mark III and Mark VII. I canceled my Mark VII. That's one of the things that started me thinking down the road of, hey, do I really need all this shit? The Iron Mans are out. But if I were to give like a out of 10, I'd say the Marvel Summer was maybe like a 7 out of 10.
Right.
Because who would have thought, like, the Tom Holland Artisan is great. Honestly, that's beautiful. The Black Widow Artisan is beautiful. Getting some Wolverines and Deadpool, that's cool. But it's not still what a lot of people are asking for. I love everything that they said. I think a lot of people were really wanting some type of like 2.0 Hulk. People have been clamoring for another Hulk. And I think they really, really wanted that. I think a lot of people were wanting basically an update to the old 2.0 Avengers. And maybe this is what it is, because we're starting with Black Widow here and you just kind of got to work our way into it. But who would have ever thought we'd be getting multiple Deadpools, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in multiple forms? Like, be happy. But I'm going to say the Summer of Marvel was like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. That's my final answer.
I think so too. I'm going to say about a 7. I think there's some really good figures here. They're just not all for me. But Wolverine
and it's
Deadpool,
still not over, by the way.
No, it's not. We got about 3 weeks. So Wolverine and Deadpool, I absolutely love, by the way. Those are a dopo, both of those. I'm not getting Thirst Trap Wolverine, although it is a good figure. The Iron Man, yeah, I love that one. It's just not going to be essential to my collection. Black Widow, not a huge Black Widow guy. I do like her, but Tom Holland is goated, objectively. But I will say this is not my favorite suit. I would love to see Tech Suit Artisan. That would have been my choice. But, I still feel satisfaction. I did want a Corvus Glaive. I had hope. Kiko, you told me. You said not to put hope in the wrong place. You said Corvus Glaive is probably not coming out of the graveyard like Kit Fisto did. Unfortunately, maybe one day. Natalie, I got to ask you, though. Satisfaction or disappointment? What are your thoughts on this Marvel Summer so far with about 3 weeks remaining?
I am so disappointed in both of you gentlemen right now for saying that this has not been at least a 9 out of 10.
A 9?
Here's why.
Oh, Natalie, you're too optimistic.
You need a Winter Soldier for it to be a 9.
No, listen, here's why.
There's nothing new here, so you can't say
exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Marvel has done nothing new at all. Marvel's done nothing new. The only thing that they've done new is Deadpool, and they took the characters that people love, truly love. They took the Tom Holland and they gave you an artisan edition. They took the figure, they said, okay, here's this suit that the most movies that was in the most movies. And it was the end game season. It was the one, it was the final, it was the we won, Mr. Stark. Here, jack off into this little sock with artisan, right? And they gave it to you. They said, oh, y'all want to customize your own little Black Widows with your little breasts coming out and the little black suit? Here's an artisan version. Do it. Then they said, oh, you love this, Mr. Stark. Look how great this head sculpt is. Best sculpt you're going to get. Do it. Deadpool, you want it? We're giving it to you tomorrow. How about you all get it in a couple of weeks?
That's
Done.
true.
How about you get this never before seen ultimate Wolverine suit? Not only that, but for my ladies, thirst trap Wolverine. You like that end scene where they're holding hands and like that was my favorite scene, by the way. That end, like literally, I was boohoo crying. Whew, I'm literally
love
getting
when
emotional
Deadpool pulls
about it.
out and looks at his abs. Looks at
Yes,
him,
He's like,
at him.
exactly.
He's like, put your greasy tits away.
Right? And no seams. They literally gave you the bane of the X-Men, right? Like all of it. And then to top it all off, they gave you Lady Deadpool. For all of you other comic book nerds out there who just crave to have one, they gave you a couple Iron Men to top it off. I don't know how they could have gotten any better outside of saying, we're going to
I think people just wanted Hulk, honestly. I think
all
that's
right,
the
so
one
Hulk,
thing.
but guess
People
what?
wanted
I
Hulk.
think
Right.
Hulk is being saved for the movie that's coming up. And we don't know why. Maybe it's coming, maybe it's not. Who knows? And sure, I think if we want to take it from a 9 to a 10, throw Hulk in there. But I think this was a pretty rock solid. How do you do a Marvel summer when nobody's into Marvel? I think they nailed it. So Hot Toys, I take my hat off to you. I think you did a fantastic job. Kiko's drunk. Don't listen to him.
Hell,
Well,
hey,
he got his dick bit, so he's probably hallucinating.
I can walk a straight line, Natalie.
Hey.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He can pass sobriety
They
test.
gave us Zaddy Wolverine. That's all.
Natalie,
That's all we needed.
how many of these did you buy off this list? How many of these did you buy?
Me?
Yeah.
1, 2. I actually only got 2.
Okay, because I got Wolverine and Deadpool off this list. Those are
Yeah,
the only 2
same.
that I bought.
So the Mark III Chrome version I was interested in because it looked like the other one that I really wanted, the Mark 7, the D200 or the Kiko, you have it, whatever the name of it was. It looked like that. I was tempted to get it, but I already have the I have the Mark 6 re-release, and I just have too many Iron Man after that, so I couldn't do another one. Couldn't justify it. Same thing with the Iron Man 3, even though I really wanted it. Black Widow was a no. I already have that Spider-Man, like the old version. Plus, I just got the newest head sculpt, so I felt like I'd be double dipping just for the hair. So I decided not to do that. So outside of those, I feel like I got the ones that I really wanted. Thirst Trap Wolverine, I thought about it. I went, maybe next time, baby. Maybe next time.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Thirst Trap Wolverine is great, but I feel like I only need the one. Like I only need the one Wolverine for me. But I mean, hey, it's a great looking Fison body. So I think you could do a lot with that. So I think if that's your thing, then by all means go for it, guys. It's time. Ron Weasley, J&D Studios. It's time to talk about the elephant in the room here. Is this Ron Weasley? Is it goated? Is it grailed? Or is this the Avada Kedavra for JND 1/6? Because when I came up with that, honestly, I gave myself a round of applause because I was like, that was actually pretty clever. Someone posted a photo on the Facebook, on the internets, and they had actually a comparison of the Ron Weasley from JND versus the Ron Weasley from InArt Collectibles. So let's be honest. Most people don't care about this character anyway. Let's be completely real. But I will say at the end of the day, J&D, this is a massive L. I'm sorry. They need to fix this. I'm not saying it's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm not quite as upset about it as other people because I do think it's decent in some angles. I think there are some shots where I don't think it's horrible. He does look a little 40, though. I'm not going to say. He does look like he's aged quite a bit. The InArt clearly is better. There's no doubt about it. But J&D has not, they have very much stumbled out of the gate for 1/6. I think most people agree their Joker head sculpt was pretty good, but the price, and even the Christian Bale and the Batman, good figures, the price, right? Now they've lowered the price, altered sculpted, and it's not good. So it's like, they've not really had a win here. And, there's not a lot of wins to go around at J&D for 1/6 right now. And Kiko, I got to ask you, bro, is J&D in a dire state right now? I mean, like, where do we go from here? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's rough. Let's be honest. For the past like 2-3 months, I've been saying it's a money laundering organization and that it's not a real company, and they're just taking advantage of opportunities to embezzle, but whatever. Because of stuff like this, it makes you question, like, what the fuck is really going on?
Right.
I have my beef with InArt. You know, I've not been quiet about that at all. I've shared my issues. But damn, when it comes to the J&D stuff, you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, at this point, to use a boxing analogy, you need to throw in the towel, like, to save your reputation, because this ain't hitting, Chief. This ain't working. We had that Joker, which you pre-ordered, which I think is comical. But then you had the Batman Armory, which everyone's like, what the fuck? And then you have this, the 3 Harry Potter figures, when InArt is already doing them. And we can debate all day about whether or not it's worthwhile, you know, going 1 for 1 and all that bullshit. At some point, you got to pull the cord, because, like, if I was J&D, I'd be like, look, as a company, my pride is not worth this, because I'm sullying my reputation. We cannot produce these because this is not good enough quality, especially for the price that we're asking. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. And you're like, all right, guys, I'm sorry, we're going to bow out. You know, we bit off more. I would have so much fucking respect. They won't do it. But imagine the CEO did one of his real pretty videos and said, look, we thought that we could enter into the 6 scale world. It was more than we thought, and we're not ready yet. We'll look at it later on. Thank you for the support. We've learned a lot of lessons, but we're going to focus on what's good for us. I'd give you respect for that and be like, damn, all right, cool. Thank you for acknowledging your mistake. This is not, if you have an opportunity, if you're a Harry Potter fan, and you say, do you want this InArt section of these 3 figures, or do you want to go the J&D route? Shame on you if you're like, I think I'll go the J&D route. No one is saying, I think I'll take a chance on this, unless you are a paid spokesperson for J&D and saying, I will show this off on my channel, blah, 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 blah. There's no one that, given the option between these two, is saying, I'm going to put all my funds in to this. It's not happening, Will. This is the killing curse. This is the killing curse for J&D. And just like I said in our Strangers video, I did, you know, Wingardium Leviosa. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this right now. Avada Kedavra!
That gone. Was on J&D?
Yeah, J&D.
Okay.
Done.
Okay. Well, I think it worked, honestly, because, yeah, the spell was very effective, highly effective. I do got to say, looking at some of the shots, though, I'm like, like, it's crazy. Looking at that shot,
but given the choice between the two, no logical person.
Yeah, no one's picking this over InArt. Yeah, that's the problem. And also, J&D has been pretty, they've been pretty dead set on just doing whatever InArt does, which is a very weird strategy. Like, after InArt's already announced it, it's kind of weird. It's a weird strategy. Maybe it's a licensing that's the only licenses they can get in 1/6. I don't know. It seems odd. They seem to be going after whatever InArt does. So until that changes, I don't know.
And if that's the case, that's reactionary. And that's not a good business strategy. You should not be a reactionary business. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I'm a little worried about my Joker. Let's be real. I'm pretty worried about it. So, yeah. But I'm not going to cancel it yet. I already put the deposit down. So I'm just going to wait and see how it turns out. It might be canceled. Especially if the Hot Toys Artisan comes out as good as it looks. It's kind of like, I'm good. Right? It's got, that looks incredible. So I can't wait for that. But Natalie, you are the resident Harry Potter aficionado here. So you would know better than any of us on this panel, and probably anyone in this chat. You are the Harry Potter expert. You've studied the lore. So I got to ask you, what's going on here with J&D Ron Weasley? Is it as bad as it is interpreted to be or perceived to be? What are your thoughts?
He was clearly hit with a curse. This poor boy never stood a chance. Ron Weasley, my boy, my guy here, I consider to be one of the heart and soul of this golden trio. And it is I wouldn't call myself a massive fan, but as a fan, I'm excited about any figure that's Harry Potter, right? So this one is a bit of a howler. That's a little joke for those of you who know.
It's a Harry Potter reference.
Yeah,
That went right over my head.
Anyway, so I saw this as soon as it came out. I said, "Well, no, let me flip through the photos. It's got to be just a bad one, right? Next one. I'm waiting. There's got to be one that looks perfect, right?" And none of them looked good. It's almost like they looked at the character and said, "Yep, no, that one's perfect. Yeah, it looks just like it. Yeah, no accessories. No, that's fine, right? Who needs accessories? It's Ron. Nobody cares, right? Forget it. We don't need accessories. Come on. I mean, literally, even a fourth hand would have been nice. There's 3. Do you know there's 3 hands? This figure comes with 3 hands. I don't know why that was a good idea at the time. The likeness, don't even get me started on that. So this looks like even Fred and George would have a field day with this one, right? This likeness looks terrible. I personally, well, all right, let me be sensitive because not everybody may have gotten the in-art version. This likeness is what you get when you don't get the good one. This is what you get, the B version. I get it that if Harry Potter is where they're putting all their effort and they want to make that one really good, then just don't release this one yet. Don't put this one out first. Why would you put this one out at the same time the other one is out? That's like, hey, I'm dropping my Nike minimums at the same time these Nike Maxes are coming out. Why would you drop something when there's an equal, better version at the same time? Put something else out. Put the Harry Potter out. That's what people don't have right now. So know your audience. I think this was a huge miss for them. I think they've aged him 20 years. They gave him a wax job, right? And it is not good.
Now, is it thunderstorming where you're at right now?
It is. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it in the background.
Ooh,
I wasn't sure Kiko's muted. I was like, it's not me, unless there's some crazy shit going on outside.
This is Florida, baby.
Dude, I'm moving to Florida.
So yeah, I'm so surprised you can hear that. Normally you can't hear anything.
Yeah. I've heard there've been a couple of them actually.
Sorry about that.
Honestly, though, Natalie, some of the shots, like
no, Will, no,
some of the angles
are bad.
like that. That's not bad.
It is
like that.
He looks like he was hit with an aging curse.
He does a little bit. Yeah,
like,
he does.
And I'm not trying to be rude or mean or anything, but like when you have 2 options that
you
are
see what
both
you see.
available
there's
now,
nothing mean about that.
It's not like in-art is long gone and we can't get it anymore and we have to be politically nice and like, oh, well, this one is a good. Don't buy this one. Go buy the other one that's still up for pre-order or still available. Buy that one. This one is not the one to buy. It doesn't come with anything. It comes with a little his rat. That's not it. It's not worth it. I'm going to stick with my in-art pre-order. Thank you very much. This one is not even, not everyone can hit a home run, but this is a complete strikeout. So I'm not happy with it. I'm very disappointed they even tried to release this. It's almost an insult to our wallets. How dare you? And then to say 5,000 units. 5,000 units? Who's going to buy 5,000 old men Rons?
In-art will be lucky if they sell 5,000 units of this figure.
This will be sitting around for a very long time.
That's more than the artisan batches.
Yeah, exactly. There's no chance that that even comes. If they actually do produce 5,000 of these, this is going to be insanely cheap on the aftermarket because there's no way that there's a demand to suit 5,000.
Look at his hair. I mean, they got to do some serious improvements.
For like $50, I would do it. Yeah, but I mean, I do think there's some good here, but I don't. And again, the problem is in-art is so infinitely better, and that's the problem. If you're going to make the same shit as in-art, you have to be better.
There's just not enough difference, and there's nothing beneficial about this side, No,
in-art's better.
Yeah, you literally cannot look at the other ones like, well, I'll put all my eggs in this basket because you can't. Just from the eye test alone, there's no logical person that would do that.
Right. No. He even looks like he's like his hairline is receding a little bit. I don't know what they've done. They just did my boy wrong.
Well, it's kind of like, if you were going to buy a 3.0 over the Hot Toys, the price would have to be there. You know what I mean? Right. Like I'll pay 180 versus 320 or whatever, but that's not the case here. So they're in the same market, right? And if they're in the same market, they got to be the same quality, and they're not. Yeah. So, yeah.
The chat says Ron Weasley.
Ron Queens.
I agree with it.
That makes sense. We got a super chat, by the way. Cinematic Collector, thank you so much for $4.99. Only Figure Friends of Universe would cover this J&D. Ron, for professional collectors only. Who is that? Do you guys? I don't know if your friends. I don't think I know them. Professional collectors. I haven't heard that one. I've heard true collectors and real collectors before, but I've not heard professional collectors. Is that a thing? Is that a new term that's being thrown around? I've not heard that one. But yeah, everyone has their own definitions, I guess, of that stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. I appreciate that. Guys, let's talk about something that just released recently. Kiko. Natalie and I, we all dodged a bullet. Let's be real. Dodged a major bullet here because this is the Hot Toys Darth Maul hologram. The dust has settled on this one. It's been released for a little bit. Guys, we gotta look at this because this is not a good look here. I mean, like there are some photos surfacing. I think this might have been Jetta's, I'm not sure, but there are some photos out there that have been surfacing of how this looks. So the head sculpt itself doesn't light up. The light up stops on the hologram at around the neck point, right? And it's not even that bright. Like it's like there are some other photos out there too, which I can share, but like, damn, like what happened here? This $150 plus shipping and tax. You're getting close to $200 at that point. You're probably at around 180, 190 bucks out the door, right? Natalie, we dodged a major fucking bullet here because this is something that I even said when JC showed this little photo. I was like, JC is selling me. This looks pretty good. JC's doing his thing, but JC tricked us. Because Kiko, this whole episode is about lessons. Is there a lesson to be learned here with Darth Maul?
I think so, simply because we are very reactionary collectors. We see something that becomes available, we see that it's limited, and automatically we're like, oh my God, I have to have this. Just imagine the potential. I could flip this. And I think in the back of our minds, a lot of collectors think, I can flip this. And that's just not the way it should be. If you're a collector, that should not be in the back of your mind at all. You should collect to collect things for your collection, not to potentially make your money back or make a profit. As I told you, if y'all need some help on where to put your funds, if you have extra funds, I have a great financial opportunities for you outside of this. This is not it, people. Like, we can talk offline about that. But this, damn, what a miss. Like, Will, you and I were chatting, like, oh, I think I'm feeling FOMO about Darth Maul. I was like, don't do this, bro. You're like, okay, I think I won't. And then some of these like figure photos started to come out, and you're like, oh my God, I am so glad I did. Because we were all thinking, oh, this would be cool for cosplay. This would be great on a desk. This would be good. As long as it's lit up, this is a absolute win. Bro, I've not seen any wins yet from this thing. As you had said, it's a 3D print, essentially. Someone's 3D printer just popped this out, and they just put it on a glow base. And as you said, no one thought through the fact that, wow, yeah, the head sculpt is really good, but it's not going to absorb any light at all. And so now you got this figure, like, what the fuck is this thing? It's literally just like a glowing dude in a robe. You could not pay me to tell, like, if I was a random person on the street, you could not pay someone to say, hey, who is this? I don't know. Who the fuck is that? It's a blackface. Like, that's nothing. No one knows what that is.
Right.
And the lesson to be learned is that just because it's exclusive doesn't mean you have to have it. And Will, I just did a great video about this. Is that you don't have to have it. You literally have to do a little bit of like, hey, I don't know what's coming next, but if I'm going to add something to my list, I need to make fucking sure that this is something I want to have. And I don't think there's anybody on this fucking planet, Will, Natalie, that said, you know what? What's missing from my collection is a holographic Darth fucking Maul. If that shows up, I am all in. So, of course, it shows up, and then someone's like, oh, I gotta have this. Limited to 1,500 pieces. Fuck, I can make a fucking profit off this. Look at that. I am laughing at the people that have this. If you're the people that have this, I am laughing at you because you know better, and you should have known better. And that's
I will say, if you have this and you can still cancel, I think you should. I think, like, Eat the NRD, it was like, what, $15? Like, take the L on the chin. We've all
Yeah,
taken
$150
much harder.
I think is what it retailed for.
Yeah,
but
150
out the
bucks.
door, you're like 170 or whatever. That's
Right.
absurd still for this cost.
Yeah, hundreds. I mean, this should be like $40. I mean, if that. I mean, it's pretty remarkably bad. Which is
the Pizza Hut like exclusives that they used to drop like 15 years ago were better than this. You could go to Pizza Hut, get a pan pizza and a buffet, and get like your special, episode 1 like little topper for your cup, all for like $5, and that was better than this.
This is I'm sorry, this is objectively ass. I mean, it just is. Like, this is not an opinion.
I said that to you this morning.
You did. You did. You were like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, like it's really bad, bro. It's when Kiko sent it to me, I was like barely awake, and I was like, ugh, brother.
It was like 2:30. Yeah, it was like 2:30 in the morning.
It was like 2:30 in the fucking morning, dude. I woke up and I was like,
going to pee and take the weens out.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkably bad. Natalie, do you feel like you like lived on the edge here? Because I think you and I like had a close encounter with death here. What do you think about this?
Yeah, we both did. I sent you a message, and I think you replied back the same thing I said, which was, "Am I crazy? Because I really like this.
I know. Yeah.
I think this looks really cool." But the photo showed the head lit up. Like, looking at this image you have on the screen right now, this looks like a legitimate holograph all the way up until right about here, right? Or hologram, right? Right until about right here. Then it like fades to black. But like the digital printing, obviously it looks like it was 3D printed, right? I think we'll just call a spade, right? It looks like it was 3D printed. But what does the Star Wars hologram look like? It looks like a 3D printed version of. So I mean, I get where they were going.
The whole point of a hologram is to know who you're fucking talking to.
Exactly.
I don't know who this is.
Exactly. That's where they failed. Right. I appreciate their effort in trying to like do something different, do something out of the box. We're always challenging them, do something different, be creative, be innovative, do something new. And then they do it, but they need a QA test. Like, they need to stop production. They need to stop distribution.
Got Will on some of the JC posts. He's like, "Oh, this looks fucking good."
Well, like, look at it not lit up. It's kind of interesting.
It looks good. Like,
but it's meant to be lit up.
Yeah, it's meant to be lit up. That's the problem.
And I get that. Like, I look at this, and to this day, I will stand on that sword. I will say, I still think it looks good. I think the lighting effect is what killed this. I think the lighting effect killed this because it had all the potential in the world. I'm not saying it was worth the price of admission. That's the problem. If you're going to throw something like this out there,
what would be a fair price then, Natalie? What would you say of
$50? Yeah.
Even with Hot Toys being the brand that they are and the distribution that it requires, if they were to say they did this once before with the Spider-Man promo version, they threw Spider-Man out there and it was like, $200. It was the cheapest like Spider-Man they ever did. Yep. If they were to throw this out as a super like cheap version and it was like $99, like that, people would have, maybe they wouldn't be shitting all over it. Even then, it's probably still overpriced, but for $99, it's like, wow, because it's not a figure, so it makes total sense. Had they done their due diligence and done the rest of the part and it lit up full bottom to top equal, the base had some sort of like presence, this could have been that thing that pushed it, but they rushed it out. They announced it, they pushed it out, they didn't QA it right. So it's not good. It's not great. So I think obviously anyone who didn't buy it kind of dodged a bullet. Anyone who did buy it, get creative. There are ways you can buy LEDs that you can use in the base. Find ways to improve this because the mold is beautiful. The head sculpt is beautiful. All the lines in it are beautiful. If you can find a way to improve it somehow, you're going to have to alter it. But if you can do that, you'll make a masterpiece out of this. Just get creative. I don't think you can just keep it the way it is.
I love your optimism, Natalie, but here's the question. Who has more egg on their face? Hot Toys for actually releasing this or collectors that actually bought it?
Hot Toys, because collectors have come to trust Hot Toys. That is literally why we put our money on it. We put our NRDs down because we know them by brand. We don't buy. Everyone was shitting the brick. Yeah, everyone was shitting the brick when we were like, oh, everyone's buying InArt. We haven't even seen anything. Damn it. Well, yeah, because we don't trust them, but we trust Hot Toys, right? Pound the table, but we trust Hot Toys.
I still don't trust InArt.
Yeah,
and many people don't even. But Hot Toys has become known and trusted, and like it's a brand. It's like if I go and get Wonder Bread, it's going to be good, right? I know Wonder Bread is going to be a slice of white bread. It's going to have a crust, and it's going to be a good sandwich. If I all of a sudden take a bite and there's nuts in it, like that should never happen because I trust Wonder Bread. Here, there's nuts in this fucking bread. Like they didn't do a good job. They let us down.
Yeah. Well,
now, I have to ask another important question.
Go ahead, Kiko. Go ahead.
What type of bread are you buying that's got nuts in it?
Exactly. You shouldn't buy bread with nuts in it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
will say though,
no. So Wonder Bread is white bread, right? So, but you can go buy Nature's Own that has like whole grains and it's
whole grain. Okay, that's what I was
right.
getting at. Okay.
So like if I go buy Wonder Bread, I know because I'm not a whole grain with fucking nuts and shit all over my bread. Like I know if I go buy Wonder Bread, I'm not gonna have all that crazy stuff in there.
I think I had a Kiko when I was with you.
You did. Have you ever had Dave's bread?
Dave's bread?
Yeah, it's like
I've had Mike's bread, I've had Billy's bread, I've had Joe Bob's bread, but I've never had
I had no idea that bread was so prolific in Florida.
Yeah. There's also is it Pepperidge Farm? Aren't they? Or do they make? What do they
make? Pretzels, bro.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember. I thought they made
Pepperidge Farms. Remembers
Pepperidge Farm remembers Dave's bread. Yeah, exactly, dude. I couldn't remember. Yeah, this shit is trash. So that end of story. So that's pretty much the end of that one. I think it's objectively pretty garbage.
Darth Maul is nuts in the bread. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, honestly though, I do like wheat bread and I do like whole grain bread. It's pretty good. So yeah,
thick bread from Aldi is where it's at.
Honestly though, lately I've just been like, just as a side snack, I've been eating bologna. I don't know if that's
ew.
Well,
that's
not by itself, dude. It's on bread. It's on a sandwich.
Okay,
of course you're eating fucking bologna sandwich.
What should you not? What should I be eating?
No. Don't listen to him, Will. This just made me so happy. I'm gonna bring you down. This is a Southern breakfast food, and I'm gonna make you a fried bologna sandwich.
I'll try it.
Natalie, fuck off. That is nasty. Stop.
I got nothing else to make him. It's either boiled chicken or now he eats bologna.
Yeah,
he will die if he eats a bologna sandwich. I don't want Will to die.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
He says he eats it.
Yeah, every now and then, but I live on the edge every so often.
I don't know. I'm concerned.
Listen,
I'm concerned,
listen, Kiko, y'all need to come down to the South. We'll make you a fried bologna sandwich.
Come to the South? I live in the South. What are you talking about?
Tennessee is not the South.
What?
Yeah. It is, isn't it? Isn't Tennessee?
These Northerners, man.
It's pretty country there. I mean, like, it's pretty country.
Have you heard my wife, the way she talks?
No. She counts. I don't know what
she's from Louisiana, so
she counts. You know.
Yeah, she is from
Natalie, I'm about to pull up, and you can make me some bologna sandwich. Actually, I won't.
It's not a bologna sandwich. It's a fried bologna sandwich.
Whoa! Where did this accent come from?
I don't know. You started it.
She's repressed it the whole time. Yeah, she's repressed it. It's real. I mean, Natalie owes me though, because I'll just say, like, I am going to sell Natalie the Harry Potter, so like she owes me a bologna sandwich. So yeah, I think that's more than fair at this point.
AKA, I strong armed him. I put him in a chokehold and I said, "Listen, bitch."
I am going to review it first, though. I'm going to review it and then enjoy it for a little bit, and then Natalie's going to take over. So
screen-used figure, it's all good.
Exactly. So, and then I'll get the J&D. We'll be fine. It'll all even out. So yeah,
actually, it will be perfect because then I'll have 2 of each of them.
Yeah, there you go. Amy said Tennessee ain't the South. There you go, Kiko. You've been overridden.
What the? Where is she at? She needs to be watching our wieners. Why is she doing that? Like, I literally text her. I was like, "Where are you at?" She's like,
"This is what I was trying to tell you.
Tennessee is definitely the South." And Amy said, "Kevin."
This is what I was trying to tell you earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Yankee. That's probably me. I'm in Maryland, so I'm in the Northeast, so I'm probably a Yankee to a lot of people. It's funny though. Some people like said I had an accent at San Diego Comic-Con. They were like, even an Uber driver was like, "You have an accent." And I was like, "Really?" Like, I guess like a Northeastern accent or something.
What's funny is I'm actually born and raised in Brooklyn, so like I'm not a Southerner at all. I just lived here for a long time.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, let's talk about some other big picture stuff, and then I think we got time for maybe 2 more topics, so we'll try to get into this. So, the age of exclusives, Kiko and Natalie. We got to talk about this. We just had a crazy week. Shit was popping off. Shit got pretty wild. Let's show some updated charts here. And again, I think the data is pretty accurate, although there might be some slight variations. I'm not saying it's 100% true, but I am saying it's pretty close because I've checked over this quite a decent amount here. The chart is so fucking long, I couldn't even get it on the one sheet. Okay. So I had to put up there. In 2024, we've had 28 Hot Toys exclusive announcements, and this includes timed releases. So like a Darth Vader that's timed, or fucking Deadpool that's timed, stuff like that. I count that as an exclusive. That's really an exclusive. It's still a time thing. It's just not like a queue you have to jump into. We had 9 last year, and we still have 4 months to go in the year, right? Let's also look at the fact. I take you to chart number 2 here on the second page, right? The pace. So we had 9 in 2023, obviously. The pace going into 2024, at the end of 2024, 37, right? That would be what? Isn't that like, that's four times? I don't know the math. 9, 18, 27. Is more than that. It's like 4.2 times or whatever the fuck it is, right? This is a new business model, very clearly. This is a very strong reaction to what happened in COVID and prior years. Kiko, do we need to adapt to this, bro? Because this sure as shit looks like the future to me. What do you think about this?
I was trying to find my DM that someone sent me this morning because, well, I made a video about this just recently.
You did.
About this idea of how we collect. And someone actually responded and they said, hey, this is something that statue companies have done for a while. And now Hot Toys is and basically rephrase. So statue companies have said we're going to market to an adult higher end audience. And so Hot Toys and other 6-scale companies have said we're going to fill that gap because while let's just say Prime One, XM Studios, whatever, and they're saying we're going to do the high end collectors with our statues. So for the people that are like, okay, I can't afford those, that is the whole point behind this, is they're saying we're going to make exclusives. We're going to make not necessarily higher end, but we're going to make it seem as if, hey, if you want to be on the tip of the spear when it comes to collecting, you need to be on this route. And they're saying that this is the new business strategy. I wish I could find the damn text. I can't find it. There was too many DMs. I get too many DMs. Sorry about that. But this is rather alarming. But at the same time, I want to be transparent and say, I think this is good. This is good for collecting. I will stand by that, Will, because for so long, I've been on this show long enough to where we were just talking about, fuck, we got Captain Marvel 45% off from Sideshow if you buy X, Y, and Z. Free King Shark, people just giving away figures. I'm literally looking right now at my in-game shelf, and like every single figure there is well under retail. I could probably get that for $100 a piece.
Captain America is abysmal. It's like $125, $150. Yeah.
And
that's the best Captain America.
It is. Objectively, it is the best Captain America, from the face plates to the body proportion. All stuff. I'm ashamed to tell you what I paid for in-game Captain America from Pop Collectibles, and they fucked me. But like, this is the new. And I'm happy for it. For all the people, it's like, I'm turned off because I don't like having to chase shit. I don't want to have to deal with That's fine. Someone also posted, and they're like, I think they nailed it with the Joker artist, the Joaquin Joker, the Joker artisan, 4,000 units. It was just exclusive enough to where some people had to think about getting it. It was not unobtainable, but now it's waitlisted. And maybe you're right about that, but I'm pissed that I missed Anakin Skywalker. I've told you that. I'm pissed. That's the one artisan that I missed, and I've done a whole video about it. But when it comes to this, I'm okay with these exclusives being exclusive. And I know some people's like, I'm turned off to the fact that I can't get something that I want. Well, I'm sorry. A majority of people, I feel, want the opportunity to feel like what they have in their collection is unique and worth something. If you just want to collect anything just because, oh, that's mine, then go to fucking Walmart and go back, buy some Black Series or some Hot Toy, or I'm sorry, some Hot Wheels or whatever, and be like, oh, I collect shit because it's there. And I'm not trying to be nasty about it, but I think a lot of people, being honest, Will, got into the idea of Hot Toys collecting because of the elitism, if you want to call it that.
The premium side.
The premium side. It's a higher tier of collecting. It's not Black Series. It's not Marvel Legends. It's not it's a higher tier of collecting. That's literally what you just said. And so when you say, okay, I'm going to put this much forward for a premium collectible I don't want it to be available for literally 75% off 3 months from now.
Right.
And this fixes that. And for the people who's like, oh, I'm not even getting in the queue because I don't want to have to deal with that bullshit. Okay. As I've told you, the chase is fun.
It is.
The chase is fun.
If you want it. If you actually want it.
If you actually want it, you're right. Because, Will, I think you went live, 4 days out of 5 this week?
4 out of 5. At 5 is today. So every day. Yeah.
So you were live every single fucking day.
Right.
For a exclusive drop. And I think most people probably, if they wanted it, got what they wanted.
Oh, yeah.
But if you didn't, let's say, for example, you did, Scorch was this week, right? Or was it last
Scorch was Tuesday, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you really wanted Scorch, because I really wanted Scorch. Because it wasn't an artisan, it was an exclusive piece, kind of like the Umber Trooper. All right.
Yeah.
So let's say you really wanted fucking Scorch and you missed. That now gives you an opportunity to say, oh, damn, I really want a Scorch. What do I have to do to get it? Do I need to think about what's coming up next? Because, okay, there's going to be an Artisan Black Widow coming up. I don't really want that. So I need to make sure that I put my funds towards Scorch. You know, it kind of helps you I keep saying the tier-based stuff. It helps you kind of prioritize what you want in your collection. Because, guys, fuck, you don't have to collect everything. And that's the point of my latest video, is that stop doing this shit. Is that we are playing this game to where you're like, I got to get it all. Oh, my God, I got to run home because Will is getting ready to do a live drop. If I don't make it, they're going to think I'm lame. I think, honestly, Will, there's plenty of people that honestly feel that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they join in because they feel like they want to be part of something, right?
Yes, 100%. Because how many people message you and say, hey, Will, I'm glad you had Kiko on because him talking about that I don't fucking need this. I was in the queue to get this. I didn't need it and I bailed out. How many people told you that yesterday?
Well, there's some people in the live chat. There were several. Yeah, several.
Yeah. And because there is this, and I love our community. There's this like idea like for acceptance, like, oh, I need to get this because Will, Kiko, or whoever like are in our circles. If I get it, they'll like me more. Stop. We love you because of what you collect. You don't have to get this new shit just because it's there. The live drops are fun, but if you really want it, go get it. If you miss it, then it gives you a chase. But I know I just rambled. Sorry, Natalie. But I really wanted to get this out there because I am okay with this. This is good. And I'm about to pee, so feel free to talk for just a second.
Well, I mean, check on the bites when you go there. Yeah,
I sure will. But my thing is that outside of Artisan Anakin, there's not anything that I've literally missed. Nothing.
Right.
Like, if you want something, you can get it. And so this bullshit of like, I'm not going to join the queue. This is just nasty. I don't like that. We've given you every opportunity to get there early, open multiple browsers. If you open multiple browsers, I don't know a single person that missed if they had multiple browsers open.
The most recent ones, Kiko, they are very attainable. I sat in the cart, closed it out, came back in, put it back in the cart. I had 5 opportunities to buy it. I mean, like Joker sat there for 4 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah. So I think outside of like Artisan Anakin, these are obtainable. So don't give me that bullshit of like, I'm turned off. This is good because putting a limit on how many there are is a good thing because I don't want 75,000 fat Thors. So I'm about to pee. Natalie, go ahead.
75,000 fat Thors. Honestly, though, yeah, I do mostly agree with Kiko. I do understand why some people don't like it, but I mean, it's like at the end of the day, it was, I've said this repeatedly, it's absolutely essential, Natalie, that this needed to happen with where the market was headed and what was happening to Sideshow and Hot Toys. This was an inevitability for business reasons. Like Hot Toys needed to bring more value to the brand. They needed to create some artificial scarcity in order to do so. And now they got people engaged. They got less units floating around. The value of figures are holding a little bit better. So there's not as much dead stock. People are trying to find stuff because they feel the FOMO, which is good for their business, not good for you. But end of the day, I mean, I think Kiko has a point. I mean, these latest Artisan Anakin was really the only one that was like, oh my God, I got fucked, basically, right? You know what I mean? Everything else since then has been pretty obtainable. Like Black Widow had 6,000 units. I mean, the Loki had like 3,000 or 4,000. That was pretty obtainable. Jack Sparrow, even you missed it because you didn't know about it. That was the one that Sideshow fucked us on, right? So, but I mean, you know, Iron Spider, pretty obtainable. Joker, very much so. Even the first Heath Ledger Joker was pretty reasonably obtainable if you wanted to get it, that first one. Natalie, what do you think about this new business model? Where are you sitting on this one?
So I think collectively, as a we've been asking for this as a community for years. I remember watching you and other streamers, and when you'd all get together back in 2019, 2020, 2022, when things were really starting to tank. And the request was, and the question kept looming, like, how do we save this? How do we save this hobby? And everybody kept saying, well, we need to do something. Like, think about the way statues do it. Put edition sizes, save the market. That's what we used to say. And now here we are. We got what we've been asking for. Now, it may not be exact edition sizes, but they're telling us how many units. So I couldn't be happier about it. Why? Not because I want people to miss out, but because it is saving the market. The market's going up. People are engaged. People are back to pre-orders. Like, that is what keeps the market healthy. That's what keeps the business alive. And that's what keeps me and you and people who care about this type of hobby continuing to collect. 4,000 units kept up for a day. So thinking about this last Joker, right? Everyone was like, oh, look at that. I bet people are kicking themselves. Look, it's not waitlisted yet. Like, that's not the point. The point is not that it's sold out in 30 seconds and everyone is FOMO. The point is that there was enough units to get it to the people who wanted it. And anyone who was on the fence had time to think about it and they didn't miss it. They could get home from work and be like, it's still there. Let me buy it. Right. Like, that's a beautiful model where I can buy it the same day and it's not sold out. And I don't, I'm a professional. So if I'm on a meeting and it goes live like Jack Sparrow, I'm SOL. They put enough units out there. It was up for a day. Maybe in the future it's up for 2 days. And that would be an ideal world. Then collectors have an opportunity to get the ones they want and they don't get the ones they don't. Tell us a number, 4,000, 5,000. We could decide for ourselves if it's what we want, right? Just like statues. That's how it works for statues. I'm sure we're going to get to it, but you have a statue that you really have your eye on. Like, can you imagine if you blinked and woke up and it was fucking gone? Like, that would piss you off.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be the case for hot toy collectors. Like, it shouldn't be like you have this 1 second and if you miss it, you miss it. Because then there's a bunch of fish dicks walking around that don't have their artisan Anakins, right? So all this just to say, if you want a huge, wide-scale, overstock collectible, buy Funkos, right? That's what Hot Toys turned into for like a good year.
That, Natalie. I love that.
It did.
It did for a couple years. It did for a couple years.
It really did. And this is coming from someone who has, like, let me tell you, I got over 200 of them. They're in a closet, right? And they're just sitting there. Right. But I probably need to just sell them all. Right. But I'm a huge, like, Rick and Morty. And I got a bunch of nostalgia of, like, Futurama and all this other stuff, right? The cartoons and other things like that you'll never see a hot toy create, right? Either way. So if you want, all of those overstock collectibles, buy Funkos. Even Funkos, if you think about it, Funkos are $10. They make one chase figure for every 6 regular pops that they sell.
Right.
Those are what we call a chase figure. And those inflate about 3 times the amount. So everyone goes on the hunt for the chase one. And that's what makes it fun. That's why Funkos still exist. There's a documentary out there. Everyone on this stream is watching because you are a collector. I think you would enjoy. If you go to, I think it's Netflix, there is, it's about Beanie Babies, right? And it really shows the rise and the fall of Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies. I
read a book called The Beanie Baby Bubble. Is this what it's based on?
Yeah, it's 100%.
I want to watch this. I can't wait.
It's actually really good.
I read the book. It's incredible.
It shows it from the business model, right?
Yeah, I read a book called The Beanie Baby Bubble.
It shows it like the owner, the president and the owner of Beanie Baby, he had all of his Beanie Babies were just readily available. And he would sell them for a couple of bucks at like these mom and pop stores because Hallmark and none of these other stores wanted to deal with him, right? Not our cup of tea. So then he started to release them into like these mom and pop stores, but he would only put like the elephants in one store and like another one. So then he started to notice people would like link up and they'd call and they're like, oh, your store has the elephants. Mine only has the bears. So there was this network of people who started saying, if you give me one of yours, I'll give you one of mine. And before you knew it, this like trade network came on. This is when the internet was first starting, right? So aging myself, right? But the internet back then wasn't used for what we use it for now. But it was like there was some chat rooms and that was about all the internet could do. And so they'd go on the internet and the website had a chat room and that's what they were doing. So they said, well, what if we started to introduce we pulled the elephants from this state and put it in this state? And that's where this idea of chase figures came. They started to release limited edition ones that would only be available in stores for a certain period of time. And Beanie Babies blew up. The downfall of Beanie Baby was they said, well, let's retire, because they started retiring, Beanie Babies, just like Hot Toys does, right? You get them, and if you miss them, they're gone. They said, let's retire all of them. They retired every Beanie Babies that were shutting down. So everyone freaked out. They bought up all the Beanie Babies they could because they're all going out of stock. And then he was like, I was just kidding. We're re-releasing all of them. And all the value tanked. Yep. People just felt bamboozled. They felt like, well, the value is no longer sticking. Once people felt the value was gone, they stopped collecting. And literally within 2 years, Beanie Baby went out of stock. And that is exactly what was happening to Hot Toy. The value was
I need to find this documentary because I loved the book. I read the entire book.
Yeah, I'll find the name of it.
You can find the link, send it to me for real.
Well, yeah, I'll find the name of it. I'll send it to you. But it was just such a good watch because it really felt like, as a Hot Toy collector, I know I'm watching Beanie Babies, but like as a Hot Toy collector, you really felt it because that happened to us. That was our community for a while. We were all experiencing that moment where it's like everything was so inflated. And it's like, if I buy this Captain America, I don't care because when the new one comes out, I'll sell this one and I'll buy that. Those days are long gone. So this is so needed for so many reasons. Now, do I think, and I'm so sorry, Will, I don't mean to like ramble, but this is one that I really feel passionate about because I do think it's not a matter of, do we adapt to a new business model? Should we rise against the machine? Should we accept it? Should we take, this has to happen. And I'm so happy it is happening because without this model, without an era of limited edition or, max edition size or limited windows for ordering, we stay in 2020 and the hot toy hobby dies. So sometimes we will lose out, and that's what creates the chase. And sometimes we won't, and then we win. We're excited. We're like, "Hi, I got the thing!" And then you're pumped about it, and you sell it, or you trade it for the thing you wanted last time, and we're back in it, right? And so that's my opinion. Maybe everybody disagrees, but I'm excited for where we are and where we're going because I don't want to be Beanie Baby. I don't want to have $10,000 worth of Beanie Babies I can't fucking do anything with.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, and this one, you can see, this is a screenshot I actually saw from Reddit. A lot of people were giving this guy a lot of shit. And I think, look, if you can handle this type of payment, then I think that's totally fine. Not all these are exclusive. Obviously, many of these aren't on this list, right? So you have some in there, here and there, but there are several screenshots of all these payment plans that this guy has going on, of all these figures he's pre-ordered, right? And they're all of them payment plans. Guys, everyone can run their life differently. You got to be very careful with this shit. I mean, seriously, like, unless you're making this type of like money where you have absolutely fuck you money, this type of stuff, this is a lot of pre-orders, right? And there's a lot of payment plans that are running simultaneously into each other.
And can I interject for a second?
Go ahead.
Because this literally was in my video, and that's why I was saying that, like, I want to try to help people to like press pause on some shit. If just the summer showcase was 9 figures. And as I said, if you got all 9 figures from that summer showcase, that was $3,500 plus taxes and shipping and everything. You're calling $4,000. Let's say, fucking payment plan. Like, I don't know if it's 4 or 6 months, depending on what Sideshow does. Let's say it is 6 months conservatively. If you got all the summer showcase, you're paying $580 a month for these. Does everybody have just $600 just laying around for fucking toys? That's the question you need to answer. Like you said, Will, maybe we have fuck you money, maybe we don't. But I think a lot of people, it's easy to just say, oh, NRD, I got that 10% down. But when all this shit starts to hit, you are fucked if you haven't thought through this, for sure.
I did that in the beginning, Kigo. I've told that story where I had $15,000 in pre-orders accumulated. So, because I wasn't keeping track of any of it in Excel sheet.
I didn't know that, buddy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I told you. Yeah, maybe we weren't streaming together at that point. It was early on, but I canceled like.
But it adds up. It adds up.
Yeah, because if you're not keeping an Excel sheet or a Google sheet of all your pre-orders and how much
absolutely fucked.
And also, this is how I do it. I pay my pre-orders off immediately to myself. I pay the NRD to the company, usually to Josh, whoever I get it from, and then I put the rest of the money needed for that pre-order in a separate savings account that's interest bearing. If I don't have that money, I don't feel I should buy it then. So that's kind of how I handle it. With statues, a little bit different when you're paying $2,000 to $3,000. Like you could do a payment plan with yourself. That's fine, or with the company. But again, this guy maybe have the money to handle this type of thing. There's no judgment here. I'm just saying for a lot of people,
but this is not the average collector.
No, and we're middle class people, dude. Like,
sure. And without trying to like completely derail this like conversation, but if you live in America, the average American salary per person's like $60,000.
Right.
If you were to get all these summer showcase pieces, like I said in my video, that's 15% of your gross income to toys that you may not even want. You have to be smart about this stuff or you will absolutely get buried and you'll end up losing money in the long run.
Yeah, it's definitely true. So you guys got to be careful with that. So guys, thank you so much. We did get a super chat real quick from X-Men Supreme. This would be something interesting worth addressing. Thanks so much, bro. Love X-Men Supreme. Wolvie is my boy. Brown suit is my favorite. I wanted Hono to make it. I'm jumping through hoops to pay more for it. That's not fucking fun. I want the damn thing that I've been a fan of since the 80s. Well, I mean, no spoilers, but there are going to be other options, I'd say probably. So that, and of course, the Wolverine. So X-Men, were you not able to jump in the queue when it went live? Because that one was that one pretty obtainable, Kiko? The brown suit?
I didn't try that. That is the one I didn't try for because I have not been on the Hono bandwagon.
Okay.
So
and to be honest, though, like again, it's not. I don't know if it's any consolation, but even a Hono, like that was like $180. If you're buying it like aftermarket, you might pay $300. Like that's less than most Hot Toys. I mean, like you're paying that for a Hono, so yeah, you're still paying a percentage up mark, but you know, it's not going to. I wouldn't say. I mean,
I have a feeling though, and I could be wrong, but hang on for it because I have a feeling this was the most successful Marvel movie they've had in so long. I can imagine with all of the multiverse stuff going on and how popular these figures sell, I guarantee they're going to be like top sellers. I think they're going to do some like of the side. I mean, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but you may get the version that you want, even if it was only, they've done more, right? Video game Spider-Man, they've done how many of them?
8 million, yeah.
Yes, they've got the head sculpt. They've got that thirst trap body. Why not use it? I think you'll get it. I think you will.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Well, someone posted, let's see if they're actually accurate. Someone, I think it was Carl, said Pop Culture has it for $234. Is that the Wolverine? I'll look it up right now because if they do, then that would at least solve the problem for him. Yeah, they have it for, there you go. So problem solved. You can just pre-order right there, dude. So again.
How much was it before?
There's your fun. So, and it's pre-order, it's set to release in October of this year. There you go. X-Men Supreme. Carl just saved the day. There you go. Once you log in, it'll be less. This is Australian dollars. They have the price in. Just pre-order that, dude. There you go. Problem solved. So again, everything like Kiko said and Natalie, everything is reasonably obtainable. Like it's, there are some things, again, you guys would be lucky. Like the art print, Kiko, you know about this, the art print I paid for Ellie, right? That print, retailed for $125. I paid $1,500 for it. So that's because that's Last of Us. And that I could not, like, you know how long it took me to find that? It took me like 6 months to even find someone that was willing to sell theirs. Like, and even then I had to pay out the ass for it. So, I mean, and it was fun. It was like, not everyone's like that. I get that. Everyone's different.
I like the chase.
I enjoyed that chase. I enjoyed finding that print. Like there was, and that's something I would never sell. Like that's, I almost bought a second one at one point, but I thought, I'm not that dumb. So
it's funny. Same, like I bought Yondu and it was like $400 at the time. And then it skyrocketed to like 700. I was like, well, I got him so good. Now I'm just trying.
You have Yondu?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Where's he at?
Yeah, it's right.
Oh, there he is. I see.
Oh, yeah, on the bottom shelf. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, most of my figures are boxed up. I don't know if you. So at one point, I put all of my Marvel. I've got Hela. I've got a bunch of. I've got so many, and they're just all boxed up, and they just need to be sold. I put them up on sale for a long time ago, and then whichever ones never got sold, they've just stayed in the closet. Deadpool was on that list, and he came back out just because the movie came out. But I've got a bunch.
Right. Well, I will say so, and X-Men does have a valid point. He's like, yeah, he's still paying more. I mean, like, dude, I mean, we got to be fair about this. It's the end of the day. I mean, it's still like you're paying like tops like $50 more than you would have paid. Like, I mean, to that's a small price to pay for
convenience fee at that
for
point.
Stabilizing the market. I think that's a small price to pay. So I do get your point, but to me, I guess I just view it differently. But because I've paid. I think we've all paid a lot more than that for a figure on the aftermarket. But and pop culture is reliable. That's brand new. That's not. You're not buying a used figure.
Pop collectibles is not reliable.
That's different. But X-Men Supreme, I respect it, bro. I mean, everyone's different. It's just, I view it a little bit differently. I view it as, again, like Natalie said, this was an essential, inevitable piece that needed to happen. Sideshow, I'm sure, was very much in the air of Hot Toys, like, you can't keep going this way. Yeah, this is not going to work for anybody. But nonetheless, Kiko, thanks so much for joining, bro. Natalie, thank you for joining. We're going to wrap it there. Kiko, you have a new video out, from what I hear.
I do, yeah. And It's not hyperbole. I really do feel it's probably the most important video that I've released on my channel, because I feel like a lot of collectors potentially are drowning, and it doesn't have to be that way. And so it's a quick look at how to navigate the world of multiple releases and, oh, I have to have this ism, if you want to call it that. And I think it's very beneficial to a lot of people. And I've appreciated the feedback that a lot of people have given me on it. So thank you for the people that have watched it. And I promise you, it is worth your while to watch it. So please do so. It's called Let's Play a Game. And we start off with a very fun game. So
that was fun. That got me engaged right away, dude. I like that.
Good, good. And for all those...
I saw mute.
Okay.
There you go. You're good
for
now.
all those fucks that said, Kiko, I thought you threw away all your boxes. 3 out of those 5 are exclusives. I told you I kept some of these exclusive boxes. And the other ones are new figures that came in. So fuck off.
Don't worry, guys. I told Kiko he's a fraud. I told him, I was like,
literally did. But
he's a fake collector.
I do have some exclusive figures in my closet because, you know, Dark Side, I want to keep that box just in case. But I threw all my other shit away. Just letting you know. Caesar
said, Will was going to bring up the whole Joker head sculpt because Hot Toys took the W. It's already been decided. It's been decided. The victory, the battle has already been fought. The ink is dry. It's done. We don't have that Joker figure yet. I will say, Kiko, I kind of wish. Remember, I almost bought the imposter version. Natalie, I almost
didn't,
because I wanted that head sculpt. You can put it on the in art. So
fair, but like I said, I'm going to get the Hot Toys one and probably sell the in art. So if anyone wants an in art Joker, I'm your guy.
That's probably going to be what I do too. So I'm your second guy. Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, I mean, again, you know, I think the Hot Toys took the W. So my in-art shield days have expired apparently. So yeah, Natalie, thank you so much for joining. Is there anything you want to leave the chat with for the end of the stream?
No, I think these are always really good topics. I think, you know, with all of the exciting announcements we have and everything coming out, we probably already talked about it to nauseum at this point, but not everybody collects the things you collect, and not everybody knows the things that you know. And sometimes it's okay to disagree with each other, if that makes sense. And just continue to appreciate it for what it is, right? We talked a lot about like the hobby almost dying at one point because of the lack of engagement. And every time I get on this chat or on the stream, I'm always reminded about how alive it really is. I get to engage with all of you. I get to talk with all of you. And it's always just a true pleasure to be here. It just reminds me of why I love doing this and why I love the people, why I love the, you know, I've got Reddit and Facebook and all of those. And so I'm always lurking around. And anyway,
You're on
I don't know.
Reddit, Natalie? I didn't know that.
Natalie lurks for sure.
I'm a super secret lurker. So I've probably commented on a bunch of things nobody knows. But anyway, stay engaged, stay positive, stay watching, and you know, thank you again for having me, Will.
Dude, thanks for joining, Natalie. I appreciate it. Stay strong, guys. Guys, check out Kiko's new video. It's awesome. Trust me. I watched that whole thing and that engaging little intro. He's still a fraud with the boxes, but we're willing to let that one go. So, I mean, he did get his dick bit by 2 fish, so it's totally fine. Guys, check out. Yeah, go ahead.
By the way, giving you an update. So I went pee a minute ago.
Yeah.
I still have 2 bite marks on the tip of my dick. Like it's not like spreading, which Nurse Heather let me know that if it spreads, that's an issue. But it's still 2
What does that mean?
marks.
Spreads? Like
okay, so like
you can get an infection, right?
Well, no, like say like you got bit and like forgive me for
like the swelling,
like it expanded.
Let's say like the redness moved up your
okay.
member essentially, and like into situations to where you're like, okay, this does not look like a normal bite.
Wow, so this fish was like it had teeth. It really took you out.
Well, that's what she said. She said it bit. It's like what bit you had teeth. I'm like, what the fuck bit me then? Because I was like,
dude, was it a catfish?
Like, I have no idea, but like apparently I was dangling the worm out there. And anyway.
All right, everybody, there's a new campaign out there. It's called #FindTheFish.
Yeah, exactly. Find the fish, 100%.
You ever see that really ugly fish? It's got like that little like sloppy mouth, and it's like the world's ugliest fish. Go look it up.
I did see Dogpool though.
World's
ugliest dog.
World's ugliest fish. It's like the saddest, most. It looks like Ron Weasley. Go look up. It looks like the
J&D
Ron Weasley.
It was J&D's ugly fish.
So,
yeah, there you
Will, Google it.
Okay.
World's ugliest fish.
I'll Google it for you, Natalie. I'll do. But I will say before we go, guys, check out. There's an In-Art Aragorn review on this
Blobfish,
channel.
Revenge of the Sith. Yes, it's Blobfish.
Blobfish. Okay. Well, anyway, In-Art Aragorn. There's a review on this channel. Check that out. I think it's pretty cool. People seem to like it so far. I didn't get too many hate comments, so I think we're off on the right track. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. We're gonna wrap it there. We'll see you next Friday, same time, same place. Just remember, pee in your damn shorts. Like, just do what. Thank you for watching another episode of Lights, Camera, Collect. Please make sure to click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And of course, check out my amazing co-host channel, Kiko Collects, linked in the description below. Thank you so much and see you in the next one.